all American bulldogs have some pit or the same breeds that went into the pit from, I don't know if you could go, nobody knows for sure, but if you went back 200 years ago when they were importing fighting dogs and bull baiting dogs, they went into the game bred American Pit Bull Terrier.
Mm-hmm.
And it's my belief that the American Bulldog is kind of an offshoot of the American Pit Bull Terrier. Possibly, there's definitely other things in there too, but
Oh, yeah.
when they got a dog that was too big or not quite game enough, and they may have given it to a rancher or a hog hunter, that
Mm-hmm.
turned into these dogs. And if you look, a lot of the early pit bulls were pied, heavy pied.
Yes. Yep.
Most of the dogs from England were piebald dogs.
Right.
The
Right.
Irish dogs tended to be heavier colored, but they were smaller, more terrier type usually. But
Mhm.
so like Little Rascals Petey, he looks more like an American bulldog now than he does uh, a pit bull today, I think.
Mhm.
And a lot of the early foundation dogs were Kager and Stampinato. A lot of different dogs were white, mainly white. So anyway, that uh, those guys did this breeding. John Lickhart used to say, his synthetic line." Back then, it was allowed. The NKC allowed. They had a 7/8 rule, and the 7/8 rule meant that you could outcross to a different breed, but they can't get registered until they're 7/8 American Bulldog. So that's what he did with that line. He had a really nice dog called Jedi that was black and white male, and then he kept daughters and line bred them, and those dogs got integrated into the standard performance American Bulldogs. And later, uh, Don Matthews, like I was saying, he got some of those dogs from John Lickhart, and he bred them how he saw fit and created his own kind of line of game bred, or not game bred, of uh, performance black dogs. He called them hybrids, but they weren't really hybrids by then. They were 7/8 or better.
Mhm.
And he gave a little interview that I think confuses people a lot, confused me a little bit at first, but he evidently, it wasn't publicized, I guess, but he also took, with creating his line of black dogs, he bred to an Amstaff that was like a sports uh, titled dog. I don't know if it was PSA title or Schutzhund titled dog. And he bred that to what he called a bully hybrid
Mhm.
American Bulldog, and that kind of went into his line. And today, he's well known for his black dogs. Even Alan Scott's bred to some of those dogs too. So that's the second way that black American Bulldogs came about. And the third um, is where I kind of started. Back in 1999, I bought a dog from upstate New York from a guy called Gail Raponi. At that time, he just bred American Bulldogs, I believe. And he had dogs kind of down off of this other kennel called Aspen Rare. Aspen Rare started with dogs from a guy in Texas called Bill Heinz. Bill Heinz were basically, they're mainly white type hog dog type dogs,
Mhm.
and he crossed them. He had different outcrosses that he did. Well, this female I got from Gail Raponi, she was white and black, and I bought her because I'd seen. I think they advertised in the back of Dog World back then, and he had a dog called Bishop, or no, Badger, and a dog called Panda. They were brothers, big, like 110-pound, really thick looking dogs, but they had more of a muzzle like a standard dog, but they were big and thick, and they were doing hang time and all this bite work and all this stuff. And I thought, wow, those are cool. I didn't care that much about the color. I thought it was kind of cool.
Mhm.
So I called them and I'm talking to him about shipping me semen, blah blah blah. Well, I could tell right away he didn't ever do it before, and I thought, I'm not going to pay all this money and to ship semen. And he said, hey, I got a daughter, I'll sell you. So I bought this female called Dinah, she had like cow patch, black and white, and she was from a dog from Alan Scott called Candy, and a dog called Badger. And Badger was black and white, and he came off of the Heinz blood. And there was a dog, a couple generations in his background called Aslan. Aslan, I noticed him like in 1995 at a show. I saw a video of a show. I wasn't there. And he was a real cool looking, thick, black dog. Like his whole back was black and everything else was white. And he had patches on his face.